Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in to check out your boy P4 out here in the lab doing what I do. I'm in the books. I got nice lessons for you. We're gonna talk about the Nile Valley presence in white America, the Nile Valley masonry, and our founding fathers. Good information. I feel like I'm doing Black History Month because this is our history that we just somehow forgot or they don't need to teach no more. But I'm gonna give it to you right quick. Let's go. Right, this is 25 rules to live by. Storytelling, story with a message. There's a message in my stories for life. I give you life lessons. You tune in and receive them. I appreciate you. You got a good thing going. Let's do what we do. Right thinking mission is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right thinking way of life through mental and spiritual discipline, practice daily, will help and guide you to obtain your goal of reaching spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. My mission that all right thinkers know thyself. If you're a right thinker, your goal is to know thyself. See where we're going with this? Let's get that together. So I asked the question: do you know you? You will and through. It's rhetorical, but if you know how to answer for yourself, Tony, I got you. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple, but you can teach them. That's why I do what I do. For you. I appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not and believe and think that they know is dangerous. Avoid them. I do. A person who knows and knows not that they know is spiritually asleep. I can awaken them. I'm the spiritual alarm clock here to wake you up with knowledge of self. That's what I do for you. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right thinkers know thyself and too. Might not be true. This is the apron. Masons. Traveling man. I just gave a little. This is what George Washington apron looked like. They don't dress him up like that no more. Okay. Past master get the purple, get the nice royal stuff, but pretty much it's a basic apron with the Masonic logo, white with light blue lettering. This is a dress apron. That was just for show. Okay, that's what they call it, dress apron. That's the George Washington Masonic apron, was presented to him by General Lafayette in 1784. It contained numerous symbols which were associated with the French Masonic Lodge. Everything on it they learned from the Egyptians: symbolism, esoteric teaching, speculative learning. That means you don't do it physically, you do it mentally. That's the name of the game. Let's talk about the Nile Valley Masonry and the founding fathers. Out of 56 signs of the Declaration of Independence, Constitution, and y'all live here in white America, 50 of them was Masons. It was said the Masons want to rule the world, run the world. No, they want intellect and reason to be in charge. If that means Masons, okay, but we had a few presidents that were Masons. The ones that wasn't, didn't plan out too good. This clown ain't a Mason, we know that. Moving on, let's get to the lesson side. I'm dip in and out, so bear with me. This is gonna be hard because I got some issues with this, and so as we go along, I'm gonna interject my issues as we go. Okay, the history of the United States, white America, stands as a glorious example of what the white man can achieve when freed of the burden of religious persecution. It should have meant the black man, but we was ones under persecution in the burden, so it don't mean us. And allowed to pursue true enlightenment. That's the right for every human being. How did the white man get to decide who gets to be free, who gets to choose? That's called slavery. The United States was the first nation in the modern world established on the supposable principles of reason and understanding. Bullshit. As, opposed to religious warfare. Did I say it again? I'm going to be nice. But the true spirit of this so-called America, white America, is rooted in the fundamental, supposedly, principles called democracy. Remember that? They sell you on democracy, but we in a dictatorship, okay? Fascism, all that nonsense. But they call it democracy, which made you or gave you what? Freedom of speech. Don't have that. Freedom of assembly. Took that away since the insurrection. Trump killed that. Freedom of religion. Everybody at war with each other, etc. All those freedoms are no longer free. They no longer work. They're no longer in play at this point. Like this. But for this reason alone, America has served as the supposedly model form of government for Europe and the rest of the world. You know this was written by a white guy. They have no regard for the black man and anything in America. We don't even count. Okay? In y'all constitution, which y'all 50 of y'all was Masons. Y'all talk that good talk, but y'all don't walk that good walk. Racism and white supremacy have been a problem since the white man got involved with the black man. I couldn't wait to say that. That's my opinion from what my conclusion from what I've been studying, what I learned, what I'm seeing. I can make that statement now and can back it up with receipts. We must, of course, try and understand that the democratic concepts espoused by white American founding fathers, one a black man in the deal, applied only to what? Free white men and women of means, and not African, Native American women or the poor. Is that not a perfect example of white supremacy? If it ain't white, it ain't right. That whole concept came from them. They set the precedent. It couldn't start no other way. Be careful when you study the events which led to what? The creation of this, what we call United States of America, because it reveals an attempt by who? White America, white males or European ancestry to recreate in the new world what? Their spiritual essence that once existed from the Nile Valley. Bullshit! In the Nile Valley, slavery was not on our agenda. We was a peace-going people. We was spiritual people. We were intellectual, smart people. Until people started what? Invading us. We didn't invade nothing. We didn't conquer nobody. But we got conquered and invaded by everybody. Moving on. That's the part about history that we don't really teach our people. Okay? I have no love, none for the white man. Not because I'm racist or prejudiced. No, because what I know about him. That's it. My point right there. I don't give a crap about that. I'm looking at your track record. Your resume don't look good. So that's my point with y'all. Moving on. All right. White America's founding fathers were 18th century deists. What that mean? They were profoundly influenced by philosophical ideologies of what we call secret societies coming from France, Germany, and England. Again, white supremacy at its best. Control the narrative, control the story, dictate what go on. They've been doing that ever since. And you wonder why the world ain't progressing. Y'all don't want the progress. Y'all doing fine. If it was flipped, y'all be dying for change. Y'all be praying and month like we been for change. Why? Because you're being mistreated. You're being oppressed. And if it was flipped, we probably wouldn't treat y'all like that. Why? We ain't built for that. That's why. So you can't think, well, y'all did the same thing. No, y'all whole concept is if we get in control, that's what we do to y'all. We not like y'all. Okay, y'all not like us. Y'all not like us. Why? Y'all abuse and misuse us. Still are to this day. Ain't nothing changed. But you want to believe that you have. I'm smarter than that. I'm not one of them, okay? Moving on. But the idea that they have all these grand ideas, but it's all on their terms. How is it the black man ain't he considered a whole human being? Who made that decision? That's in the Constitution. Moving on. So the United States of white America is the only nation that has printed on its currency the words, "In God we trust." But this is not from a religious context. But if you're a Mason, y'all don't say the G represents God. That represents the grand architect of the universe, which is God. So you play that. I hate them, that little game. Semantics. This is not to reference to what? The God of the Bible. Who you referencing? What God you referencing? Ain't but one. As deists, again, the founding fathers did not believe in the fall of man. So they didn't believe in the Christian concepts, but they believe in God. They just gonna take God and let the rest of it. We're gonna do our own thing. But we just take God. Secret society. Again, they believed in what? The existence of God. Yeah, again, in order to be a Mason, the first question is, do you believe in God? If you say no, they won't accept you. Why? They want your faith. They want you to make sure you believe. You are a believer like them. To be one of us, you got to be like us. Okay, understand that. So the indoctrination is the initiation. That's what it is. I've done it for a lot of time, a lot of years. But I was doing it from the inside where I didn't see it the other way. I was part of it. That's what the problem. That's part of it. I saw the problem with them. Period. I had a problem with that from the inside. Y'all talk that good talk. You didn't walk the walk. So I don't give a damn if it's religion, masonry. I could care less. Streets, hustling, whatever you're doing. If you half-assed it, I can't respect that. So they believe existence of God, grand architect universe, Genesis. But they also felt that the Creator exercised no control over the lives of the people after the creation of the world. That's what they tell you. God created the world in 6 days, then he sat back and watched his creation. No, he didn't. That's their concept. That's not mine. I don't subscribe to that nonsense. Self-creation means he created himself into physical form, and he gave us what? The spirit from him. He's in his creation. We are his creation. We are him, just individually. He probably explained that best I could, and that's the whole point. When you misunderstand something, and you want to make it suit what you want, that ain't the truth. That ain't what it's intended. So they take stuff and make it their way, make it fit, okay? But the founding fathers believed that man could know God. And this part I love. This is what I learned from them. How? Through reasoning and refinement of your intellect. Study, learn, and practice. That's how. That's how. Not praying and hoping and wishing. No, live right, do righteous things, act like you know, and that's how it's done. You become God-like. Why? Because you're a servant to what? Others. I just give. I don't take. I'm not a taker. I'm a giver. And they say, God bless what? The cheerful giver. I give with a smile. This was the quintessential spirit of what they call democracy. For them, again, they believe, here we go again, they believe that every mind was capable of enlightenment. Bullshit. If you believe that, why would you enslave a people? So that don't hold water with me. I'm going to have some issues with some of the stuff that they proclaiming. Why? I know it's a lie. Y'all have problem with the black Masons. They call you niggas. They call us niggas. We know the same thing you know. We got the same information you know, and that was proven. So why are we any different? Because we're black. That's racism. White supremacy. We beneath them. They don't deserve the information we got. Why not? Again, but you're talking about every inalienable right. That ain't being inalienable, okay? It was therefore unnecessary to have an authoritative figure of the church dictate revolution. I don't want a preacher running me either. In church, fine. But outside church, no, keep that where it's at. Give me a true leader who understands and knows what he's doing. Somebody of intellect, rationale and reason. We ain't got that now, but that's what we supposed to have to uphold democracy. He ripping democracy apart. A mind that was cleansed through knowledge of secondary and merely temporary concerns beholds what with the radiance of a cleansed mirror and a reflection of the of the rational mind of God. A man with logic and reason won't do certain things. It goes against his true belief and understanding of God. That's called God fearing. When you won't do stuff that's opposing to God. All you so-called preachers and pastors who doing everything against the book. What you going, oh, God's all merciful, he going to forgive me. No, he going to punish the hell out of you. Now, all that, he'll forgive me. No, he won't. See, the God I know, he punished sinners with death. You want to be a sinner? Have at it. Moving on. That's why I do what I do, making it right. But, and they also believe, wait a minute, no. This was the reason for supposed to be our founding fathers' insistence on what they said, separation between what? Church and state. Yeah, I want that. Well, I don't want no damn preacher running the state. Stay in the church. I ain't got a problem with that. It says here, members of the St. Andrew's Masonic Lodge dressed as Mohawk Indians. Why? Oh, consummate of the few shiploads of tea into the Boston Harbor. Boston Tea Party was engineered by Masons who wanted to look like the Indians did it. Okay, let's talk about that. Throughout the years, historians have glorified the American Revolution and its struggle for what they call independence. Against who? Your own people. But an issue which must be closely examined is how an army of ill-equipped, improperly trained Minutemen can defeat the mightiest military force in the world at that time. Sneaky, deceitful maneuvers. Simple, okay? And they pulled it off. And watch this. There is no question that the European secret societies and Freemasonry helped to determine the outcome of said war. Whose side was they on? They influenced many individuals and events relating to the American Revolution and the development of what they call our United States, as the following list indicates. Starting with the Boston Tea Party. Everybody knows this, okay? The first black man to die in the what? Christmas Addicts, okay? So black men was somewhere around there. Indians was somewhere in there. Y'all dressed up to look like them to pull it off, okay? But y'all should just, boy, y'all black and white Masonic aprons and let them know who you was. So let's talk about the Boston Tea Party right quick. I got another one there. I got a little bit left. But the Boston Tea Party, it was really a raid by the American colonists. Hello, right there. There you go. 3 British ships had docked in Boston Harbor on December 16, 1773. Approximately 40 to 50 men. Nice. You got 50 guys. You got a nice little group of people there. You can do some work, okay? Disguised as Indians. Right there. Right there. They threw 340 chests of tea into the harbor. Hence the call the Boston Tea Party. In the show of protest against who? The British policies on the imported tea. We call them tariffs now. Okay, that was tea tax. Okay, they said to hell with it. They throw all their stuff overboard. And this was one of the series of events which led up to what we know now as the Revolutionary War. The plans for the Boston Tea Party were discussed by who? Masons. Where? At a meeting at the spot, the Green Tavern, the Green Dragon Tavern, which also doubled as their what? Masonic Lodge. In the early days, they met at bars and clubs. I don't drink. All Masons like the watering hole. I don't do that. I don't partake in that. I was told when I first came in, man, you don't drink, you ain't gonna go far. What me drinking got to do with me selling in the Masonic order? But that was stuff I had to deal with personally. Okay, so you got the guy named Daniel Webster. once described the site as the headquarters for the revolution. They were the starters. They were the instigators. Okay? The Revolutionary War was what? A war against England, which was declared on April 19, 1775. And now George Washington, he was named the commander-in-chief of the army on June 15th in that year. George Washington had been initiated in the Masonic Lodge in Fredericksburg, Virginia on November 4, 1752. So he'd been a Mason a long time. Okay, just want to let you know. Okay, you're talking a few years. Okay, there was 33 generals, and if you know anything about Mason, you know they play the numbers game. 33 is the number of vertebrae in your back. All that degrees, yeah. It's symbolism. You can make it work anyway, but it's really the serpent that's up the spinal column. Okay, so it's all symbolical. It's all symbolism. And the 33 ain't no such thing as 33. Okay, it's 33. 32 degrees to what? To freeze, turn water to ice. It signifies transformation of enlightenment. It's all mental, all right? But he was 33 generals, asserted officers, and numerous enlisted men who were members of his Masonic order who fought under the command of Washington during the war. So these are all buddies. Masonic lodges were also established in the military bases so that what? The craft could what? Profit thereby. No. Be practiced what? On a continental and global basis, according to Marcus D. Lafayette, General Washington's main man. Watch this. Never willing to give independent command to officers who were not Freemasons. If you wasn't a Freemason, you ain't getting in charge. They're not gonna let you run nothing. They had a lock on it, monopolized it. Okay, that's what they're trying to show you. Out of 56 of the 50 was Masons, and nearly all the members of the official family, as well as most other officers who shared his innermost confidence, were brethren of the Masonic ties. They was brethren in the order of Masonry. And if you know anything about brethren, you do anything for your brother, even if it's wrong. Your brother can be wrong. You're gonna help him out. I'm just saying that's part of what they do. Okay. And Lafayette, let me wrap this up with him. Yeah, I'm gonna wrap this up with this guy. All right, Lafayette was we call the French Freemason, who came to the United States and made a good name for himself. Why is this? In 1777. And he brought with him weapons, mercenaries, and he had money to help finance the war against the British. He was given the position of Major General in the Army, and he was a member of Washington's staff. Lafayette fought in major battles of the Revolutionary War. He came and got into the fight, and he helped to negotiate the treaties of Paris, which were signed in 1783. Formally ending the war with Britain, he was later rewarded by Congress with $200,000 and given land in Louisiana and in Florida. What the hell? Lafayette Park, which is located right across Pennsylvania Avenue in front of the White House, was also named in his honor. Lafayette was not the only Frenchman to be honored by the newly formed government of the United States. In 1799, the town of Louisville, Kentucky, was named in honor of who? King Louis XVI, and in gratitude for France's assistance during the American Revolutionary War. I was going to do the Declaration of Independence. I'm going to say that for the next lesson. No, I'm going to wrap. No, yeah, I got some more stuff here. So I'm going to say that Declaration of Independence. You see right here? That handshake? The brothers on the streets do that, okay? They call it giving love. I remember a long time ago, they mimic what we do. They don't know what we do. Every gang got a handshake. They got a little password. They mimicking us. But if you show them what's right and good, maybe they'll take it that way, but they took it the other way, and that's That's what they do. But that's where it comes from. George is saying goodbye to all his boys. And that's how they meet to say and greet on the square. The 5 points of fellowship, they call it. Okay. I hope you enjoyed the lesson. I'll be right back with some more. I ain't done. I'm having fun right now. I'm hoping you get this lesson. It's really good information that we won't get anywhere else. I got you. In closing, right thinkers, man, you all there to be 100. Me, 100 minus a day. So I know none of my right thinkers who now understand the Nile Valley presence in America, aka white America, have passed away. I'll be back with some more. You know the deal.